the transformational power of kindness, compassion, and forgiveness. There's a moment in every leader's life, whether at home, in the office, or in their own head, when they hit the crossroads of choice. Do I hold on to the grudge, rehearse the offense, and sharpen my response? Or do I release it, soften my tone, and model something radically different? That moment isn't small, it's seismic. Because what you choose in those quiet spaces doesn't just shape your relationships, it shapes your legacy. Ephesians 4:32 cuts straight through the noise. Be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as in Christ God forgave you. And if you're tempted to shrug this off as a Sunday school verse you've already heard 1,000 times, let me challenge you to stop. Slow down. This is not about niceties. This is about transformation, your transformation, and the culture you're building around you. Kindness that works like oxygen. Kindness here isn't soft sentimentality. In the original language, it carries the sense of being useful, practical, almost like a tool that builds or restores. Think of oxygen in a room. You don't notice it until it's gone, but when it's absent, people can't survive. Now apply that to your workplace or your relationships. Without kindness, conversations suffocate, creativity withers, people retreat into self-protection. But when kindness is present, it fuels courage. It allows people to breathe more deeply, speak more openly, and risk bringing their full selves to the table. So here's the challenge. Stop treating kindness as a nice-to-have. Start treating it as oxygen. Ask yourself, am I giving air or choking the room? Compassion that feels in the gut. Compassion, Paul says, isn't an intellectual exercise. It's visceral. The word points to the gut, the place where you feel the ache of another's story. Leaders and professionals often pride themselves on staying rational and keeping emotions out of decisions. But compassion refuses to be filed under weakness. It's the very thing that makes your leadership human. Picture this: a team member underperforming. The easy path is critique, maybe even dismissal. Compassion, however, slows you down enough to ask, what's happening beneath the surface? Is there burnout, unseen family stress, or silent fear? Compassion doesn't excuse accountability, but it transforms the way accountability is delivered. Instead of a hammer, it becomes a scalpel. Instead of crushing, it heals. If you want loyalty, trust, and long-term impact, cultivate gut-level compassion. It will change how you see and how others see you. Forgiveness as the ultimate disruptor. Here's where it gets uncomfortable. Forgiveness, not the polite nod that says, "Don't worry about it." Real forgiveness is the kind that releases the right to revenge, the right to replay the tape, and the right to keep someone chained to their mistake. Forgiveness, at its core, is disruptive. It breaks the cycle of retaliation. It dismantles bitterness that poisons teams and families alike. It doesn't mean erasing consequences or pretending harm didn't happen. It means choosing freedom over bondage, for them and for you. And here's the truth you don't want to hear. Unforgiveness makes you small. It ties your energy to the past and keeps your hands too clenched to build the future. If you're leading a business, carrying resentment will bleed into your decisions and stunt innovation. If you're leading a family, it will calcify intimacy. Forgiveness is not weakness. It's leadership in its purest, most powerful form. The pattern that changes everything. Notice the pattern Paul gives. Kindness, then compassion, then forgiveness. This isn't random, it's a progression. Kindness opens the door. Compassion moves you inside someone else's world. Forgiveness keeps the door from slamming shut when things go wrong. This pattern is just as critical in boardrooms as it is in marriages. Want to know why so many organizations implode from within? They fail at this pattern. They tolerate unkindness disguised as honesty. They suppress compassion in the name of efficiency. And they starve forgiveness by glorifying perfectionism. The result? Cultures where fear wins and trust dies. Leaders, parents, friends, your call is to reverse the pattern, to make your relationships and your workspaces the kind of places where people don't just survive, but thrive. A personal audit for growth. Let's put this to work. Spiritually, ask yourself where unforgiveness has clogged the pipeline of grace in your life. Who do you need to release, not because they deserve it, but because you've been released? Relationally, audit your conversations. Are they oxygen-giving or suffocating? Compassionate or clinical? Forgiving or chained to history? Professionally, look at your culture. Does your team operate in fear of failure, or do they know mistakes won't be their identity? The presence of forgiveness will tell you the truth. Growth starts with honesty. Look in the mirror. Where do you need to soften? Where do you need to release? Where do you need to give oxygen? The bottom line. Your life and leadership are shaped in the small, ordinary choices of how you treat people. Will you default to harshness, to cold calculation, to unforgiveness that shrinks your soul? Or will you embrace the pattern that has the power to set people free, including you? Kindness, compassion, forgiveness, not optional, not trivial, not extra. They are the blueprint for becoming the kind of human and the kind of leader that changes everything.